Hi guys, so I'm back again. I'm gonna do a first impressions review tutorial using the new Morphe and Jaclyn Hill palette. I'm so excited to get my hands on this. I missed it the first go around, so I got it in the July restock. Came super quickly, came within 1 week. The palette itself is really gorgeous. It's all white and you've just got the silver metallic writing that says the Jaclyn Hill palette with Morphe. And then the back looks like this. It says Morphe x Jaclyn Hill and there's little JH's all over. The real magic is inside. So when you open it up, it looks like this. So it says in the front cover, this palette is dedicated to all my loving subscribers. You get 35 shades. Could you die? Look at these beautiful colors. I really love warm tone colors, so I was super excited when I opened this palette. I haven't touched or haven't swatched any of them yet. I saved it for this video. I've had it since Monday and I waited till Wednesday to even play with it. So yeah, you get 35 gorgeous shades. I think you can really create any look. You've got everything from your highlight colors all the way to your dark matte black. You've got blues and greens and purples and reds and neutral tones. I think you can create a million looks with this. So we're gonna test it out and see how the shadows perform. I've heard really good things, so I'm excited to try them myself and get my hands on them. So this palette retails for $38 US. To get it in Canada, it becomes a more expensive palette. Obviously with the exchange rate and the shipping is pretty pricey, but we'll find out if it's worth it. So I'm going to do a tutorial with this look I have right now using this palette. So I'm gonna zoom you in and let's get started. Okay, so I've already moisturized my skin about a half an hour ago, so that's all settled in. So I'm going to start out with the eyes just in case there's any fallout. I'm not really sure what to expect when it comes to fallout with this palette, so I am going to start with the eyes so I can wipe it away if there is any. I'm going to start with the Essence I Heart Stage eyeshadow base, and I'm just going to put this in an even coat all over my eyelids. It just gives the shadows something to stick to and helps them to last all day. So I'm just going to apply this all over the lid, a nice even coat just using my finger. It does kind of cancel out any veins or discoloration on your lid as well, so that you have a really nice solid base. Okay, so now I am going to take the shade Silk Cream, so it's the third one in from the top here, and I'm going to use this shade as a transition shade. So I'm going to take this and a crease brush, and I'm going to apply this all over the crease of my eye as my transition shade. So this is a really important step that often gets forgotten. It gives your eyeshadow something to blend into. So although it's not a very dark color, it doesn't show up super intensely, it just really gives your shadow something to blend into. I'm just doing windshield wiper motions, circular motions back and forth, blending that out. So next I'm going to take another crease blending brush here that's just comes to a little bit more of a point, and I'm just going to take it a shade darker, one shade darker. I'm going to go in with this fourth color here that's called MFEO, and I'm just also going to apply this into the crease as well. So I'm just layering the colors, just going a little bit darker one step at a time. Also in the crease, just in back and forth motion. So far with just using the two transition shades, my first impression is there's not a lot of kickback, which is nice. The shadows blend really, really easily. Don't have any fallout yet, but we're still using lighter shades. Really nice pigmentation. Really liking it so far, even just for the transition shades. So I'm going to continue to build the crease a little bit darker, but I'm going to start warming it up now. So I'm going to take this yellowy shade called Creamsicle, and I'm going to also apply that into the crease with even a little bit smaller of a blending brush. This is a Morphe M518, And again, I'm just gonna concentrate that right into the crease. So this looks like an intimidating shade because it's practically yellow. But what it does is it's really gonna warm up the look. And now I'm going to start building up my darker shades as well. So I'm gonna keep using this brush, the M518 in the crease for Morphe, which this is also a Morphe palette, so it should go well together. So now I am going to take the color Hunts, which is this kind of reddy tone shade here. Excess off my brush, and I'm just gonna pop that right into the crease. Just doing circular windshield wiper motions, blending back and forth. Color is super beautiful. Oh my gosh, love this shade. I really like red, orangey tones, pinky tones, warm shades. So this palette, like when I opened it, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, this is the palette for me. I'm super glad it's performing so well. I love my warm tones, especially because I have a little bit deeper of a skin tone. I find that that's what looks best. I look a little bit weird when I use cooler tone colors. Okay, so I'm going to go in with this brush now. This is a Morphe 330, and I'm gonna take the shade Jax, which is this little bit darker of a red tone here. And I'm gonna concentrate this more on the outer V just to deepen things up. I'm just keeping this kind of on the outer V, sort of blending in towards the lid and just bringing like the leftover product onto the crease, but not even all the way. Just concentrating on the outer corner. So now I'm gonna take the shade Sissy, which is this shimmer shade, second from the end on the top there. And I'm going to use a MAC 239 brush to apply this all over the lid. This brush I've had for a long time, it's very well loved. So I'm just gonna pack this right onto the lid. This is the first shimmer shade I'm dipping into here in the palette. And so far I really like it. It's really pigmented. Really beautiful shade too. So I'm just gonna keep dipping in and apply this all over the lid, but not up into the crease. Don't like applying shimmer shades into the crease. It just kind of looks funny. Keep it matte up there. Just applying this all over the lid, right from the inner corner out to the outer corner. So this color does have a little bit of fallout, but not too bad. Okay, so now I'm going to take the shade Little Lady, which is the one on the very end here on the top row. And I'm going to just pop this right on the center of the lid, right on top of Sissy, just to kind of give it a little pop, a little brightness on the center of the lid. Okay, and then I'm gonna go back into Jax, and I'm just going to deepen up that crease again, just because some of it kind of got blended away. And then I'm going to go in with my Morphe R38 that we used, that kind of yellowy tone, and I'm not going to add any additional product. I'm just going to blend out the crease, just to keep things really nice and blended, no harsh lines. Everything kind of blends in together. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it at that. I am gonna move on to the face now. So I'm going to just take a makeup wipe really quick here, and I'm just going to wipe away any fallout and kind of sharpen up this outer corner line. So I'm gonna prime my face. I'm going to use the Makeup Forever Step 1 Mattifying Primer. I love this one because of my oily skin. And I do actually find that it really helps give the makeup something to cling to, kind of helps it last all day. So I'm really gonna focus this where I get the most oily, which is around my nose, my forehead and between my eyebrows. Just kind of pat that in. So for foundation, this is going to be a little bit tricky because I was out tanning yesterday and I got significantly darker. So hopefully this is going to match. So I'm going to try using the Fit Me Matte and Poreless in the shade 230. We're going to test this out and see if it works. Otherwise, we'll just use lots of bronzer. I'm going to use my beauty blender to apply this all over the skin. I'm just going to dab it on. Well, this doesn't look too bad. That's good. All right, this is a good shade. Thank goodness. Make sure you go over your ears and bring it down your neck. I don't like to put too much under my under eye area just because we're going to go in with concealer and I don't want to have to worry about layering up too many products. Under there, that's when it kind of starts to get creasy and cakey. So it looks good. So I'm going to go in with concealer. What do I want to use today? I'm going to use my Kat Von D Lock-It Concealer. I just think my Tarte Shape Tape, which is my favorite, is going to be too light. So I'm just going to bring this under the eyes, right where I get the darkest, and kind of in this like inner corner area. And I'm going to bring it up towards the temple and sort of blend downwards and then upside down. I just do a little bit around the outside of my nose where I get a little bit of red. Up here on a couple of blemishes. Under my chin where foundation tends to break up quickly. I'm just gonna take my beauty blender and blend that out. These beauty blenders are like a really overpriced, expensive sponge. And there are like dupes for them, but I just find that nothing like really does compare. There is really nothing as good as the beauty blender. I don't know what kind of unicorn magic they put into it, but it is really fantastic. It's a really great sponge, but it is super expensive, like for a sponge. I think Canadian it's $28, which is ridiculous, but it works fabulously, and in my opinion, there's nothing else on the market that compares. There's things that are close, but nothing that you would say, oh my gosh, this is exactly like the beauty blender. Okay, so then I'm gonna take my Kat Von D setting powder here, just translucent setting powder. I'm just gonna set that concealer. I'm gonna take a little powder brush here. I don't even know what brush this is. It doesn't have a name or anything on it. And I'm just gonna pat that underneath the eye area, just to make sure nothing creases. So now I'm going to go in with my face powder. I'm using MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Medium Plus and just like a big Morphe E1 brush. And I'm just going to kind of pat this into the skin. That will keep me nice and matte for the day. And then I'm going to go in with bronzer. Today I'm going to use the Too Faced Dark Chocolate Soleil Bronzer. And I'm going to use a Morphe E4 brush. And I'm just going to bring this underneath my cheekbones. Here, and just kind of blend it out. I'm not going to contour today, I'm just going to bronze and really warm up the skin. I'm not going to be as precise with this as I would if I were contouring. Really want to blend all your bronzer into your skin. I kind of use like circular motions working backwards up towards the ear. Okay, and then for blush, I'm going to take MAC Peaches, which is just like a really nice matte corally tone blush here. And I'm going to apply that to the cheeks. Using a Bare Minerals brush that I actually got in some sort of a set once. Okay, so I'm just gonna apply this to the apples of the cheeks and sort of pull back. So you just wanna do like a light amount and pull back. It's a really pretty color. Okay, and then for highlight, I'm going to use my Nicole Guerrero Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit. I'm going to take the shade Glow Getter here on the bottom. Just because I'm a little bit more tan now, I think I can get away with a little bit more of a goldeny tone. I'm going to take my Morphe M510 brush, and I'm just going to apply this right on the tops of the cheeks. Blend it in. I don't apply too much highlighter anywhere else. I'll usually do like a little bit of a dab on the tip of my nose and my Cupid's bow. Just because my skin's so oily, I don't like to bring it everywhere because I kind of get a natural glow anyways as the day progresses. I'm just really gonna blend this in on top of the cheekbones. I'm actually gonna take a little bit of Forever Lit, which is that like white shade in the palette, on the Glow palette, and I'm just gonna put this like directly right on the tops, just for an extra little bit of highlight there. I'm gonna blend it all out. I'm just gonna take my finger with Glow Getter and just put a little dab on the tip of my nose with the brush. I'm gonna put a little bit on the top of the Cupid's bow. I'm just gonna fill in my brows quickly. I'm using the Goof Proof brow pencil from Benefit. Looks like this. And then the other end's a spoolie. So I'm not gonna go too in depth in my brows. I'll maybe save that for another video. I'm just doing like little hair-like strokes all the way through. And then when I get to the front, I do really light hand. I kind of bring it in upward little strokes. I'm gonna take the spoolie on the other end. Just gonna comb through. So now the brows are all filled in. I'm going to take the Benefit Give Me Brow gel. I like this one because it's a spoolie so tiny. It just fits very nicely in there. I'm just gonna comb this through the brows just to hold all the brows in place. So now that that's all done, I'm gonna go back in and finish up the eyes. I'm gonna take the palette again, and I'm gonna grab an Eco Tools brush, just like a flat definer brush. And I'm gonna kind of do the same thing that we did in the crease, I'm gonna do on the lower lash line. So I'm gonna start out with that first shade we used here, and I'm just gonna pack this along the lower lash line. Like, you can't really even see it, but again, it's a transition shade to help everything blend nicely. Some people get a little bit frightened to do anything on their lower lash line. And I really think it pulls the look together and kind of ties everything in. This is almost my skin color, actually. So then I'm gonna go into MEFO, the next shade over. I'm gonna pack this along the lower lash line. So far, I would say it's safe to say this is my new favorite palette. I am obsessed with all the shades. They blend beautifully, they're super pigmented, really easy to work with, and the palette really has like everything you could need. You could do 100 different looks with this. Now I'm gonna go into Creamsicle, that yellow shade. Then I'm gonna take Hunts, that Ready tone. And I'm gonna take a pencil brush. This is a MAC 210, I think. It's kind of rubbed off. And I'm gonna take Jack's, that darker red tone. And this one I'm really gonna buff along the lower lash line. So I'm really gonna blend things out with this pencil brush. And kind of attach it to the top corner here. And really smoke things out. Now, to highlight the brow in the inner corner, this is a Royal and Langnickel eye shader BMD-466 brush. So now I'm going to take the shade Beam, which is the second shade in the palette here. And I'm just going to pop this under the brow bone here. And in the inner corner as well. I'm just going to kind of bring this onto the lid just slightly. So now I'm going to move on to liner. I'm going to use the MAC brush stroke liner. It looks like this. It's a little brush tip. I really like it. It's really easy to use. I'm just going to drag this along the lash line here. I'm just going to do a little wing. So I'm just going from the bottom of my lower lash line, bring it up towards the corner of the brow, and then just attach that top line and just fill it in. Okay, so now that the liner's on, I am just going to curl my lashes and put on some mascara. Then I'm gonna pop on some falsies. Curling my lashes will forever freak me out for the rest of my life. One time I was getting ready and I was curling my lashes and my friend pulled in the driveway and beeped her horn, and it scared the living daylights out of me, and I jumped and I had my lash curler clamped on my lashes and I like leaped and pulled out half my eyelashes. First of all, it was so painful, like it hurt so bad. And then second of all, I'm like sitting there holding all my eyelashes in my hand. It was scarring. So now every time I curl my lashes, I like flash back to that moment and I'm terrified. Thanks for that, Jess. I'm gonna go in with the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise Mascara. This mascara is awesome. It's from the drugstore, so that's fantastic too. Some people say it's a dupe for the Too Faced Better Than Sex, but I actually like this much better than that. The only thing is that this mascara is waterproof and like it does not come off. It is on there for the rest of your life. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and apply some false lashes off camera just because it's boring. And so lastly, to finish up this look, I'm gonna go in with a liquid lipstick. I'm just gonna go with a nude color. This is the NYX Lingerie in the shade Push Up. I've never tried this before. This is brand new, so we'll see how this goes. I do like the formula. I've just never tried this shade. This with a gloss. I'm going over with NARS lip gloss in Super Vixen. Looks like this. Pretty. Okay. Then I'm just going to set everything with a setting spray. This is the Spray Set Go by Project Beauty. I got this in my boxy jar this month. There's not one that I like. It's kind of